Hello and welcome to news on NTA International. I'm Nancy Godi Angonihu. First, the headlines. Kano Abduction. Government establishes contacts with the abductors and location of missing students identified. Chief Justice of Nigeria canvasses adequate funding for the nation's judiciary. Post-COVID-19, stakeholders call for evolution of safer and secure workplaces under the new normal. Details of the news. It's hope rising as contacts have been made with those that have abducted the students of Government Science Secondary School Kankara in Katsina State. Governor Aminu Bello Masari, who disclosed this while speaking to NTA News after an audience with President Muhammadu Buhari in Daura, said the location of the missing students has also been identified. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu has the details.
The Katsina State Governor Aminu Bello Masari was accompanied to the Daura residence of the President by the State Deputy Governor Maneria Kubu. He formally briefed President Muhammadu Buhari on the attack of the Science Secondary School Kankara, the abduction of the students and rescue efforts following the massive deployment of security agencies to the area. The governor's engagement with the president is coming a day after the top echelon of the nation's security apparatus, led by Defense Minister Bashir Magashi, visited the community on a sympathy and strategic mission ordered by the president. Governor Masari told NTA News after his meeting with the president that lasted more than 1 hour that progress has been made in efforts at rescuing and reuniting the abducted students with their families.
We are having positive responses. There was a contact from the kidnappers to the parents of one of the pupils, and we have also made some contact with some of them, and we have a fair idea of the locations where the children are. And I think the military and the other security agencies are right now in the forest to make sure that they are rescued and harmed. So I think there's positive development so far. We've been following up. I had to come and brief him the progress so far as of this morning. We learned from his long years of experience as a military officer, the president, and also we have learned from his suggestions as what to do and how to go about.
The governor once again pleaded with parents of the missing students to remain calm, law-abiding, and supportive as government is committed to bringing back their children hale and hearty. In Daura, Katsina State, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And moving on to the judiciary, the Chief Justice of Nigeria has again called for adequate funding for the nation's judicial arm of government, both at the state and federal levels. This was part of the high points of the commencement of the 2020-21 new legal year ceremony, where 72 legal practitioners were elevated to senior advocates of Nigeria. Femi Okewo has the details.
The 2020-2021 new legal year for the Supreme Court has had to drag to December due to the lockdown which the country experienced earlier in the year. But its eventual celebration came with the highest number of legal practitioners conferred with the rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria, 72 in all, in any single ceremony since the award started over 4 decades ago. The ceremony was also used to take stock of activities of the legal profession, with the Chief Justice of Nigeria in a message read by Justice Bodero's Vivo expressing concern about the funding of the third arm of government.
The welfare of the judicial officers is another crucial issue that we can't afford to sweep under the carpet. The paltry sum of money being collected as monthly salaries is an issue that needs urgent redress. The annual budget has been on a steady decline, and that has adversely affected the state of infrastructure in our courts.
Attorney General of the Federation and other speakers made similar contributions, calling for respect for court judgments at all levels.
The Ministry of Justice has also developed, first of its kind, a national policy on justice and securing the Federal Executive Council for the implementation across the country.
The new senior advocate of Nigeria pledged to work towards a better legal profession in the country.
It means we have to step up and serve this country better than any other time.
It's a thing of joy. It's something one has been yearning for, but at last it came to pass.
It is a call to greater service in the legal profession, to support the judiciary, to work harder.
So many unusual and uncommon things have come with the year 2020, but man has continued to respond positively to these things. Part of them we have seen in this conferment at the Supreme Court for the year 2020-2021, where 72 senior advocates of Nigeria have been conferred to enhance the elite group of legal profession in the country. From the Supreme Court, Femi Okeowo, NTA News.
And it's good to let you know that I have here with me in the studio one of the 72 legal practitioners just elevated to the position of the senior advocate of Nigeria. He is Musa Kutu. Musa Kutu, SAN, congratulations on your elevation.
Thank you.
Welcome to our studio.
Viewers.
Now, what have been the roles of the senior advocates of Nigeria in the administration of justice?
Thank you for this question, and thank you for having me. Well, a rule of law actually connotes supremacy of the law, respect to the law of the land. Even in governance, governance must be done in accordance with the precepts and tenets of the law. Those governed must also work in accordance with the law. And therefore, the body of senior advocates, to which I proudly belong, known as BOSAN, serves as a vanguard to ensuring that, and a watchdog also, to ensuring that the rule of law is enhanced in all aspects. And that is to say, it serves to guard against refusal to obey laws or trampling upon the laws of the land in whichever form.
Now, how would you assess the performance of the judiciary in 2020 under the new normal?
Yes, 2020 has been actually a challenging year, particularly with the experience we went through under COVID-19. It's all over the world. Nigeria is not an exception. In spite of all that, the judiciary, under the able leadership of the CJN, Dr. Tanko, had to devise methods and ways of ensuring that we work around such situations and difficulties. Surprisingly, such number of cases were disposed of, over 900, in spite of the problem of COVID and non-contacts. And to me, I think 2020, with all its challenges, the judiciary has performed credibly.
The Chief Justice of Nigeria canvassed adequate funding of the judiciary. What's your take on this?
It's timely. There's no gainsaying that for the judiciary to deliver justice speedily, funding needs to be enhanced. It is also known that even at the apex court, the Supreme Court, proceedings are taken by hand, not electronically. And this is an age-long practice that has been disposed of by developed countries. I think with an enhanced funding, certainly, technologies can be deployed to handle such areas.
Now, as others have said, they've made the promise that they will do well. What's your promise to Nigerians as you have been made a senior advocate of Nigeria?
Well, my focus now is to see how I discharge the duties, the enormous responsibilities that's on my shoulder as an SN. I do not glory myself in even the glory of the name of the rank. I'm very conscious of the fact that the duties is so challenging, and therefore I will, in my daily practice, ensure that I maintain and improve the quality of practice, the decorum of courts between practicing lawyers and the bench, and to ensure that the society is better off.
Now, once again, I thank you and congratulate you, Musa Kutu.
Thank you. Actually, the name is Chief
for
Gideon
coming.
Musa Kutu. Thank you.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Now, turning to the economic matters. The micro, small and medium enterprises remain the backbone of the nation's economy. And Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is urging states and local government councils to take a second look at some regulations that are affecting the growth of micro, small and medium enterprises in Nigeria. This was during the inauguration of the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industries Trade and Convention Center this Monday. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
The Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, PEBEC, was inaugurated in July 2016 as the administration's flagship initiative to reform the business environment, attract investment, and diversify the economy to reduce the nation's reliance on oil. Varied actions are followed to deepen the ease of doing business in the country. However, there still exist some drawbacks which are of concern to the administration.
The time has come for us to have, the Chamber of Commerce paying very, very active attention to all that is going on in the MSME space, especially with respect to regulation. We must call out government officials who are making it difficult for people to do business. We simply must call them out. And this is important. If you recall, the president himself said that there is no way the private sector can thrive, no way business can thrive if government officials see themselves as roadblocks, see themselves as hindrances as opposed to facilitators.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says government's policy is to continue providing the right environment and incentive for businesses. The task ahead for the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry is to further work with PEBEC in making the business environment better. And the Chamber is already taking a leap into that to serve as a model for other states.
No doubt that the kind of people that will use this place, a lot will come out of this place without a doubt that will positively impact on the future of our country.
We also do training, vocational training, special skills, technology skills, and so on, to enable us create workability, employability. Many of our young graduates actually have challenges because of skills. So in addition to your degree, we also provide skills here.
The Chamber also solicits more support from government into making Abuja an industrial hub. In Abuja, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Now on the health scene, the application of traditional, complementary and alternative medicine is not new to Nigeria. But what is lacking is an efficient institution for formal training of practitioners. It is this gap that the Federal College of Traditional, Complementary and Alternative Medicine of Nigeria Establishment Bill seeks to close. The proposed law was subjected to the public for input. Ignatius Onkwo reports.
As the world grapples with the containment of the second wave of COVID-19, the Nigerian Senate is not ignoring other health concerns of Nigerians. This public hearing by the Senate Committee on Health is in response to two major health bills. A bill that seeks to give legal backing to the Federal College of Traditional, Complementary and Alternative Medicine of Nigeria, and the bill for an act to provide for the prevention, control and management of sickle cell anemia.
We cannot undermine research in the traditional option as well. A Federal College of Traditional, Complementary and Alternative Medicine will be a platform for such investigations.
There were submissions from the Ministry of Health, Association of Traditional African Medicine and other practitioners.
Is to take the tools of medicine to examine, the tools of science to examine traditional medicine, complementary medicine and alternate medicine. And this bill seems to almost duplicate what the ministry is already doing. Until last year, I wouldn't know how that escaped the previous assemblies, but we still continue to allocate budget, money, public fund for other health and institution does not exist. If this House Chamber decide that we want to call it an institute, no problem. Inasmuch as the present staff of that particular college will not suffer any relegation by whatever means.
Ironically, sickle cell anemia, which is said to be preventable, is increasingly becoming a challenge to Nigeria's healthcare system.
So, but we need to have an agency in the ministry that will be charged with research on all of these disorders. And so that funding will be provided and research will be done on all of these things.
We believe as an organization it's important to classify sickle cell disorder as a disability for it to fall under the bill spoken about by Honorable Betty.
This bill seeks to provide for a strong political will and the provision of more funds for its prevention and control. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Presidential electors have begun casting the votes that will formally choose Joe Biden as the nation's next president. Vermont's electors were the first in the nation to vote Monday, giving the state's 3 electoral votes to Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. For more on Global Update, over now to Uche Ugochukwu.
A new variant of coronavirus believed to be causing faster spread has been identified. Health Secretary Matt Hancock said at least 60 different local authorities in England have recorded COVID infections caused by the new variant. He said the World Health Organization has been notified and detailed studies is underway. The first COVID-19 vaccination in the United States has taken place as the country gears up for its largest ever immunization campaign, targeting 100 million people by April. Millions of bottles of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine are being distributed. Elsewhere, Japan and South Korea grappled with surging coronavirus cases and growing public frustration, with Japan suspending a contagious travel subsidy program and South Korea closing some schools. Figures on Worldometer coronavirus dashboard show global infections near 73 million at 6 p.m. local time, with Nigeria reporting 73,175 confirmed cases. Away from COVID-19, Cote d'Ivoire President Alassane Ouattara took the oath of office on Monday for the 3rd term amidst a political crisis. He called on the opposition to seize the opportunity to help ease the tense political climate to enable dialogue. Similarly, presidential electors have begun casting the votes that will formally choose Joe Biden as the U.S. next president. Vermont's electors were the first in the nation to vote Monday, giving the state's 3 electoral votes to Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. And negotiators for the UK and EU have restarted talks over a post-Brexit trade deal as they search for a breakthrough in securing an agreement. It comes after the two sides decided on Sunday there had been enough progress for negotiations to continue. That does it from here. I am Uche Ugochukwu.
We're watching the news on NTA International. We take a break now. Thanks for staying with us. The Corps Marshal Federal Road Safety Corps, Boboye Oyeyemi, has tasked commanding officers to be more proactive and ensure immediate deployment of personnel for aggressive sensitization of the motoring public on the need to observe maximum safety precautionary measures in the face of the recent threat of the 2nd wave of COVID-19 in Nigeria. In a statement, the Corps Marshal further directed that safety managers domiciled with fleet operators must endeavor to ensure strict compliance to all standing directives given by the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, including provision of running water and hand washing equipment and making available hand sanitizers both in parks, terminals, and in the vehicles. Now, the discovery of COVID-19 vaccine by Pfizer has been welcomed by all, including the Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, with a call for its clinical trials on Nigerians to ascertain its efficacy and safety on Nigerians. Haman Jabani reports that the association is equally worried about the 2nd wave and lack of adherence to the non-pharmaceutical protocols.
5 days, Nigeria has recorded 2,980 cases of COVID-19, the highest in 5 days ever in the country. The Presidential Task Force said Nigeria may be at the verge of a 2nd wave of the pandemic and advised Nigerians to keep their face masks on during interpersonal and group interactions, while appealing to state government to step up their roles in enforcing COVID-19 guidelines and protocols. The Nigerian Medical Association has thrown its weight in calling on Nigerians to adhere to the non-pharmaceutical protocols despite the Pfizer vaccine.
The Pfizer vaccine trial came out with a result of 94.5% efficacy and safe for use. However, for it to be used in Nigeria, it must undergo another further clinical trial because our biology is different, our environment is different, our genetics are different. Therefore, it must necessarily be subjected to another clinical trial on Nigerians so that we can appropriately document.
The association is saddened by the difficulties faced by its members in accessing the Central Bank 10 billion naira health intervention fund and the immigration of trained Nigerian doctors and other health professionals. The security issues in the country were condemned by the association, just as they commended the Senate for passing second reading of the Medical and Dental Practitioners Bill that will enhance ethics and professionalism in line with contemporary expectations. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
The coronavirus pandemic has created a new urgency in the protection of the health and safety of workers at all levels. To achieve this, leaders are expected to be responsible for tailoring guidelines based on their organization and employee population. Adebola Brooksland Sunday reports that this was emphasized at the 2020 International Safety Conference and Awards by the Occupational Safety and Health Association held in Abuja.
An employer is required to protect the health and safety of workers at the workplace in accordance with the provisions of the Factory Acts and Labor Law. The Occupational Safety and Health Association, 10 years after its establishment in the country, health, safety, security, and environment matters have become the focus of its International Safety Conference as key players deliberate on developing safer and secure workplace in the new normal occasioned by COVID-19.
Young and old must be very conscious of the state of our health and safety of our immediate environment, especially the old.
Take active step to support efforts to control this pandemic among the workforce. The workforce are the food soldiers of our country.
We should be able to have some takeaways that will certainly touch positively on our lives and changing the narratives of the impact of COVID-19.
To drive home their mandate, a national safety advocacy project was unveiled.
Once we take care of the issue of negligence, we avoid a reoccurrence. Then we can now talk about look into the areas of compensation.
The conference urged workers in the country to remain proactive as they contribute their quota to national development. Adebola Brooksland Sunday, NTA News.
And talking gender now, the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence may have come and gone, but the lessons there must keep inspiring women to stand tall and make their voices heard louder against all forms of oppression and in matters that concern them. These are the submissions of the First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Buhari, and other key speakers at our Women's Conference in Abuja. Momsode Miandati reports.
The message of Mrs. Aisha Buhari being conveyed.
Encouraging women, especially the younger generation, for them to aspire higher politically, socially, and economically, because we are also advocating for wider space for women participation, especially in the political arena.
Then comes that of the Minister of Women Affairs, Pauline Talon, from the National Assembly, and on and on.
In life, our purpose is to ensure that we give a shoulder for other women to spring forth.
From all walks of life, irrespective of social or political affiliations, these women are here to ponder, share experiences, and re-strategize on how to better their lot in every sphere of national life.
How can we come out of this doldrum of no finance to be able to meet up?
We have to come together as one. We have to sublimate our energies towards happiness as a construct, as something that we must achieve and attain in and of ourselves. We must be deeply rooted within us, financially, emotionally, spiritually.
We need an executive bill, both in the state and in the federal level, to ensure that constitutionally women are well represented.
The event tagged Happy Women's Conference is considering the theme, A Woman my purpose. Mamso Damien Ati, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari condoles with government and people of Adamawa State over the passing of former Attorney General of Old Gongola State, who was also Galadima of Adamawa, Murtala Aminu. The president joins all sympathizers, which include friends, professional associates, traditional and religious leaders, in commiserating with his family, urging more trust in God and submission to his will. President Buhari believes the former Attorney General's contribution to nation building will always be remembered. And that's it on the news. Do remember to always connect with NTA and stand against rape and rapists.